After 10 years and over 35 million copies sold, Terraria is still one of the most beloved games out there, and for good reason. The game randomly generates a world for you, populates it with monsters and items and whatnot, plops you down in the middle of it and says, good luck, buddy. With so many items to craft, regions to explore, and bosses to fight, it's easy to sink hundreds of hours into this game. Maybe a little too easy. Like we always do on this channel, we're going to be looking at some of the gemstones available to you in the game, the craziest uses for them, and how they measure up to their real-life counterparts. Let's get into it. With a game that focuses heavily on digging down deeper and mining for resources, it should come as no surprise that there are definitely gems to be discovered deep underground. In Terraria, those gems are diamond, ruby, sapphire, topaz, emerald, amber, and amethyst. They're usually found in stone blocks, which is pretty consistent to how gems are actually found in real life. Many types of gems can be found lodged in host rocks waiting to be dug out. In the game, you can also find gems inside of geodes, which is also true in real life, especially of amethyst and other quartzes like agate. However, the game takes a little liberty when it comes to cracking your geodes open. In the game, you can just conveniently toss your geode on the ground and it'll break, revealing your glimmering prize. In real life, you're gonna need at least a hammer and probably a little bit of patience. In one of our previous videos, we had to enlist Christopher and a powerful pipe cutter to crack open our geodes. Click up here if you want to check that video out. Deviating from reality a little bit more, you can also get gems from gem trees that spawn in the cavern layer of the game. You can also create your own gem trees by crafting an acorn and a gem of your choosing to create a gemcorn. This means that you can grow and farm gems just like any other plant. And while gems don't exactly grow on trees here in the real world, we do farm one type of gemstone. Do you know what it is? It's pearls. 99% of the pearls on the market today are cultured pearls. Naturally occurring pearls happen pretty much by chance. An irritant, like a parasite, finds its way into the shell of a mollusk, like a mussel or an oyster. The animal then coats it in a material called nacre, which protects the mollusk, and it also gives pearls their iridescent shimmer. Pearls used to be incredibly rare, making them at one time worth more than diamond. Since the development of the culturing process, though, the price of pearls has gone down significantly because they're so much more widely available. Now anyone can have a pearl strand, which is great. Although natural pearls still come with a very high price tag. We can synthesize other varieties of gems through various processes too, although none of them involve growing gems on trees. So we touched on the value of pearls there briefly, but what about the value of the gems in the game? I've noticed some discrepancies. For example, diamond is the most valuable gem in the game, which is pretty common in games that feature real-world gems. Amber, however, is just as valuable in the game as diamond, and it's found in the underground desert, neither of which really make any sense in real life. Some amber can be quite expensive, especially the large pieces, and amber specimens with insect or plant inclusions can also be pretty valuable, but the finest amber is not as expensive as the finest diamond. Secondly, amber can be found all over the world, but not in underground deserts. Basically, anywhere that there was an ancient forest millions of years ago, you can find amber. Baltic amber, for example, comes from an ancient forest floor at the bottom of the Baltic Sea. Pieces of amber dislodge from the bottom and then they float up to the surface where they're swept along by the currents and wash up on shore. So just to recap, underwater forest? Yes. Underground desert? No. Now, that's not to say that you can't find gemstones in the desert. The American Southwest, for example, is famous for its turquoise. It's also the home of the largest gathering of rockhounds in the world, the annual Tucson Gem and Mineral Show, on the edge of the Sonoran Desert in Arizona. Okay, the Tucson thing is cheating, but look, deserts can yield all sorts of gemstones, like garnet, jade, and opal. You can use them to craft weapons, like my favorite, the Diet Lightsaber, otherwise known as a phase blade. Using a different gem yields a different colored blade, and they all have identical stats, so if you're like me, you can pick one that matches your character's aesthetic without sacrificing damage. Your phase blade can be upgraded to a phase saber by using crystal shards, which look to me like big quartz clusters with nice termination points. If phase sabers aren't your thing, you can instead use the quartz clusters as decoration, placing them on the walls, the floor, the ceiling, wherever you want, really. They even glow a little bit, which kind of reminds me of those big crystals that grow beneath Ba Sing Se in Avatar: The Last Airbender. Click up here to watch that video. Like those giant Earth Kingdom crystals, these crystal shards give off a slight glow all on their own, an effect called phosphorescence. This is different from fluorescence, which is when a stone glows only when exposed to UV light. Phosphorescent stones continue to glow for a while after the light is removed. My other favorite use of gems in Terraria is in the creation of stained glass. It's purely cosmetic, and I know that sounds kind of vain, but listen, some stained glass combined with a few of those crystal shards is the kind of thing that turns your house into a home. Anyways, real stained glass gets its color from the actual manufacturing process and not afterwards. Clear glass is made from silica sand, and by adding metal oxides or metal powders to molten glass, you can color it. So, for example, cobalt gives you blue glass, copper oxides give you blue or bluish green, sulfur and cadmium make yellow, and gold actually gives you red, which is why it was the most valuable color back in the early days of stained glass. A technique has also been developed that creates dichroic glass. By adding super thin layers of metal oxide, glass can be made to exhibit dichroism, where the color of the glass changes depending on the angle you view it from. Unfortunately, there's nothing quite like that in Terraria, but you can make multicolored glass, which I lovingly call disco glass. Not quite dichro glass, but I'll take it. That's all for today's video, guys, and tell me, down in the comments, be honest, how long did it take you to kill Skeletron? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Thanks for watching.